Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the World of Wraith YouTube channel. Got with you guys again. A quick deck tech for Florian. I took Florian to the Proquest last week. It was a little over 20 people. Can't remember the exact number. Maybe like 21 to 25. 5 rounds. I only lost to 2 Florians in Swiss. One of them being my teammate Josh. Another one being Noah. And first of all, shout out to Josh. He gave me this list. I was testing a couple different cards like Truce, and he kind of sent me his list, and I was tweaking my list more and more to include cards that he had, and I just ended up going with his list, and it got me to second place. So, shout out my boy Josh. Lost to him in Swiss, but then we played in top four, and I got my revenge in top four. And then I played Noah in the finals and lost to him. He was also on Florian, so the top eight was really interesting. There was 3 Florians: Prism, Aurora, Victor, New, and I can't remember the other deck exactly. But anyways, quick deck profile. Nothing crazy here. Tunic might seem a little new for some people, but Tunic can give a lot of power to Florian in these long games. Tunic gives you so much value, as well as simply when Florian's active and you have a blue Tunic and a 2 for 6, making 2 Rune Chant and sending a 2 for 6 can be super powerful. Haunting Rendition, nothing crazy. For me, it was more like Aurora attack. Having 4 block to their 4 attack is pretty good, and being able to discard it to make 2 Rune Chants when Florian's active is pretty strong. 6 Rootbound Carapace. Now I'm gonna leave you guys in the description an updated list because there's things I would want to change after this ProQuest. I think 6 was a little too much. Sometimes this was just like a 2 block. It's good that it's an earth card and it helps you decompose, but sometimes just having like a 2 block when you don't have enough earths, it was a little tough, and playing so many D-Reacts was getting a little clunky. The meta has gotten to a point where people are expecting D-Reacts. CNC is getting so much value. I remember Arachnes weren't really playing Command and Conquer before, but now, since we're bringing in D-Reacts into the Assassin matchups, they're starting to bring in Command and Conquers, and it's been doing really good. So I'm going to trim these down. Like I said, I'll have an updated list in the description, and I'll also go over it a little bit. Gentleman Heroic, one of my favorite cards in the deck. Yeah, this just gives you a lot of early game power. I feel like before I was not playing this, and Florian felt kind of weak in the beginning. But playing this along with your Go Again cards just gives you so much strong things to do in the early game when Florian's not active. Now, Canopy Shelter, I think this might get cut. I really like the card, but it's not a non-attack action, so you can't really do the face purgatory plays with this. Making a might can be really strong. It's an earth blue, so I do love that about it. I would say if you want to test Canopy Shelter, definitely do. I think there's a good time for it, but I think on my new list I'm gonna cut it. You guys will see in the updated list. Now, on the other hand, Flourish. This card I love. It kind of overperformed for me during the tournament. Simple as just being an earth card you can just play. It works with Swarming, Gloomveil, Plow Under, Felling of the Crown. Yeah, it's an earth blue. It's super good. I would definitely recommend trying this in your Florian list. Besides that, everything else is pretty standard. I have Race Face. I think we were trying this for Aurora and Florian. Um, Turning off all the earth cards, and honestly, turning off laning can be very impactful in some of the big Aurora turns, like the Flicker Wisp turns, CLV. But I think I'm gonna cut the card. It didn't really do much crazy things for me. If there's maybe like a dash in your meta, maybe it's worth keeping in. And Soul of Tomorrow, the theory behind this was like it's really good for these grind games, but as I was playing these grindier games, I just found this to be redundant. Florian should want to be in the grind game and should be able to kind of close out the games. So I felt like this was a little redundant. Now let's hop into the new list and see what happened changed. So, like I said, we're taking out 2 rule-bound carapace. I still like it. 1 yellow because decomposing and not losing your action point is very powerful. Malefic Incantation. A big issue I was running into is Jarl. Not at the tournament, but in general, playing Florian and losing my grasp. So I wanted more ways to make rune chants. So Malefic came in. I think 2 is the perfect number for it. You want to see it towards the late game. If you see it early, it's not bad. Sometimes it can be a little weird if Malefic makes a rune chant and you can't start your turn with grasp. So I think 2 is a good number. Now, Flourish, like I said, I love this card, so this is definitely staying at 3. I took out Canopy Shelter, and I'm trying Cadaver's Tilling. It's another Earth Decompose card, and, it's a blue Earth, so it helps out with your Channel Mount Heroic, but it also helps out with your Channel the Millennium Tree. Now, I was finding Florian having a hard time kind of closing out games. You were able to get to the late game and win a lot of the times, but when you're playing other slower, grindier decks, like maybe like Victor, it can be hard to close out the game. So a card like the Millennium Tree can definitely help out. And then along with the Channel Mount Heroic, I was running 2 Rune Rager Swarms. I bumped that up to 3. I just love playing Channel Mount Heroic every turn. The turn you play it usually isn't that crazy, but the turn after, and once you get 1 flow counter on it, it just grants you so much value, especially when you're playing all these go again cards, or even if you play Trot Along into Plow and Swarming, it can get really out of hand. And I think we're playing about 6 blue Earth cards. No, we're actually playing 15. So that'll help you keep your tree and your mountain up a lot more. And sometimes I would even pitch the red Earth cards, to just keep your Channel Mount and your Millennium Tree out for longer. Besides that, nothing much changed, so I'll leave this deck description down below. Again, shout out to my boy Josh. He helped me get second, and thank you all so much for watching. If you guys have any questions about the deck, let me know down below. There's also going to be probably an updated list once Aurora leaves and I have something tuned up good, because I think she's 100% leaving at the end of this week. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thank y'all so much for watching. Peace.